Hi, it's James Willoughby, and we're bringing you another installment of what's happening in the Austin real estate market. We do this every week. I primarily do this to show our seller clients, but we're starting to build a little bit of an audience. We email this out to people. I know it's also on YouTube. Not trying to build a huge following. What we're trying to do is inform those people that want to know what's really happening, particularly if you're a seller in the current marketplace. So let's jump right in. It's going to show you, active listings in the Austin MSA. That's the entire 5-county area. Last week we told you that we finally broke that 10,000 barrier, and now we're about 10,101 listings as of the end of Sunday or Monday morning early, I guess. So not a huge problem because you can see overall this graph has been very flat. So that's not particularly scary, but it is a milestone. And so we're noting that. What I really like to do is show people active listings versus new listings per week. And I've scaled that down to the last 3 months so the graph isn't overwhelming. But you can see in the last 3 months, this is the pending graph versus the new listings per week graph. And you can see that actually they're not really that far off. For a couple of weeks, the pendings might be down and they kind of surge and then they go down again, and then they go back up. So it's going to be a seesaw. Overall, it's kind of level, pretty level. And then, now that we're in, I guess we could say we're almost in the fall market. I always think our real estate markets, in terms of how it works, start a month or so earlier. Like, in other words, January is the spring market and we're barely into winter, right? So anyway, we're into September. We're solidly in the beginning of the fall market. And you can see really since, I guess it's been the first week of August, you can see where the new actives have been higher than the pendings, okay? And the last couple of weeks, the pending sales kind of dipped. And I think a lot of it is just market fatigue, the heat fatigue of this, the actual temperatures. And then last week, the temperatures outside dropped, and guess what? Sales picked up. In fact, they picked up quite a bit, about 10%. So you can see the gap between the new actives and the new pendings really not very bad, right? Less than 100 difference, which means overall, we're not really growing our overall inventory that much, which takes us to weeks of inventory. Now, if you've been watching this, we've been, the beginning part of the year, the first 6 months, it's been hovering up and down around 10 weeks of inventory. Then since, August, it's jumped up to 11 and 12 and then 13. And then the last couple of weeks, it was 15, almost 16 weeks of inventory. And this last week, because of the surge of activity and a few people dropping out of the market, you can see we're down to 14.1 weeks of inventory. So compared to last year, it's about the same, okay? So I think that we're very much in a normal market. We're following normal market trends. We're in the beginning of the fall market. We're seeing fewer homes go on the market, fewer homes going pending. The buyers that want to buy have a little more selections. The sellers that want to sell, definitely have a little bit more competition, but not ridiculous. Now, of course, it varies from area to area. I did a market analysis yesterday where there was like 75 competing homes against the property that we were pricing. It happened to be in Bastrop, which we don't do a lot of business in, but I have done some business in that neighborhood in the past. And I'm like, well, I showed the seller, and he decided to price, more aggressively than really all, but the 2 or 3 best priced homes in the neighborhood. And I think he'll be the next one to sell because he's got a nice home and so forth. So probably get him into an auction situation, actually. But anyway, that's a case of extreme oversupply, and there are neighborhoods with undersupply. I think we reported last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, that our median sales price went down from July of 462 to August of 460. Now, I think I also mentioned that the Austin Board of Realtors, they're slow to report. So here are their August stats. They came out earlier this week. Confirms our 460 median sales price. These are the official numbers. So that's after every realtor that reported late is showing up here, unless they just completely off the radar. Now, median sales price down 7% from last year. Number doesn't look dramatic. The dramatic numbers were earlier this year, where market values were off as much as 20%. So last year in August, we had a more normalized market than we did at the beginning of the year, but we're off 7% from those numbers. We're up 1% in terms of closed sales, which is not significant. Our average days on the market has gone up 28 days rather. So now we're at 60 days on the market overall. And, new listings growth has slowed down compared to last year. It's just 1%, less than 1% higher. Although new active listings were 12% higher. Sorry to click on that. There was a lot of people quitting last year, so there wasn't a lot of new listings coming on the market, which normalized and stabilized our market for this year. So anyway, overall months of inventory, they're reporting at the end of the month, it was 3.8. We're reporting right now, it's like 16 or actually 14. It varies because we report weekly numbers. They report monthly numbers. So in my opinion, they're just a little bit behind the curve in terms of their reporting. Interest rates have remained stable. And then one of the things we're adding, which we'll review next week, is our Sold in 7 program. And we're showing our results compared to the market as a whole. And we'll go over this next week. But, we're beating the market considerably if people are choosing to do that program. And we'll explain that to you a little bit more next week. So until that time, have a great week. Let's hope we might get a little rain before we talk again. And maybe the weather will be a little cooler next week. All right. Take care. Have a great day.